To give you an idea what these videos will be about, I have made up a question which I will then answer to give you an idea how your questions will be answered later. The question is, what is the difference between command line arguments and standard in? To answer the question, let's look at how each of these methods are used. To run an application in command line, you would normally do something like this. As we can see, it works. Now, to add command line parameters, you would do something like this. And we add 3 command line parameters. An interesting thing is to see there's 4 command line parameters, where we only gave 3. That's because the first parameter is always given and it's the name of the application. The second method of input is standard in, and here we see the program waiting for some input from the user, and if we give it to it, it just outputs the input that it received, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now let's take a look at the source code for this program. The first thing to notice is that the main function has 2 arguments. The first one, argc, gives you the count of the arguments, or the number of arguments that is passed to the program, and the second one is an array of strings, which is the arguments that was passed. As you see, we just output the number of arguments, and then loop through all the arguments and output them. That's the output we saw, and then we just loop until we receive the letter Q, or the string Q, and then we exit. So pretty straightforward. Now that we know how each of these methods are used both in code and as a user, we should ask ourselves, when should we use which method? The answer to that is we should look at when these methods are applicable. The command line arguments are always given before the program runs. This means that the user does not necessarily have the information available to make all the decisions that he should. For example, if you have an application that requires you to give all your moves for a tic-tac-toe program beforehand, the user will be at a great disadvantage because it does not know what its opponent's moves will be. So there you would normally use some form of standard in, so you can actually respond to the information as you receive it after each turn. On the other hand, command line arguments are nice when you have a tool which does a task without needing any more information, like a zipping utility, which just needs the file name and some other parameters maybe, and it goes off and does its thing. There's no need for new information that affects the flow of the program or anything like that from the user side. Thanks for watching. Remember to vote and ask questions on the Google Moderator page, and hope to see you next week.